What's up, everyone? I'm your spiritual gardener, here to plant seeds of consciousness in your gardens. It's just your job to water them. And today we have had a new moon eclipse in Sagittarius. So, with any new moon eclipse, it's literally a chance to open a completely new chapter in the book. And, the past couple of weeks, we've had kind of heavy energy. It's been kind of, hard to get things rolling. And we might have felt a little bit stagnant. But, this is a lot like, if you've ever played the game Mario Kart and you go off course in Mario Kart, and then that little cloud man brings you right back and puts you right back in place. Well, this is a big day to where we are going to be literally put back on track. We might have felt like the last couple of weeks weren't the easiest, but we are having a chance with divine intervention today, especially the fact that this new moon eclipse is happening in Sagittarius. And, Sagittarius is all about good luck. Sagittarius is the guru. It's the teacher. It's, the one that has a lot of fun. And, the eclipse here, it's happening right on the south node. Okay. So the south node in astrology represents endings to things that we need to stop. And, in order to open this new chapter, there is something that we need to be ready to put behind us. And that's because the eclipse is happening right on the south node. And, this eclipse is also making a square over to Neptune. And Neptune's the planet of delusion. It does represent spirituality as well, but it represents addictions. It can represent delusion. So it's got its balance there. And when it makes a square to anything, it's a hard angle. It's boxing it in. And, there can be something toxic in our lives that we need to do away with right now, because this eclipse is happening right on the south node, and the south node is about things that we need to put behind us in order to open that new chapter. So there's some form of toxicity within us, and it can be within ourselves, within addictions that we might have, within addictions to things, addictions to people. It might not be the easiest to really pinpoint exactly what the energy is right now, because like I said, Neptune can represent delusion. So it can kind of be a little bit foggy for us to decipher what this energy is. But I'm sure there's something on the back of our minds for every one of us that we know we can do better without. And, it's not the easiest of energy having to put things behind us, but, the fact that it is happening here on the south node as a new moon eclipse, it's going to be opening huge, big chapters for us, divine intervention. Just like I said, the little man from Mario Kart putting you right back there on track when you thought, hey, you could have went off track in any other type of situation, you would have flown off a cliff in reality. You know what I mean? So we are having that chance today, but the hard part is being able to do away with something that is not the best for us anymore. And Neptune also rules the media. And something that we need to be careful about is the information that we're taking in right now, because one minute I'm seeing electoral vote won by Biden, the next minute it's the complete opposite. So our sources are not the best right now to be trusted. And, that's part of this eclipse too. And, something I looked at this morning, it's on my story, was, we have some big major news channels that are actually admitting to ET life and the fact that we have contracts with them here on Earth. And that's something that I've never heard before on TV. You know what I mean? So it was a big, wow moment for me to see that. And, I wanted to post that because whether or not it's true, I mean, it is, but whether or not, it's the fact that the information is being put out there right now. So that's a big, we haven't seen that before. We've never heard them really talk with purpose, knowing and telling us that, we are in fact in contact and have deals with extraterrestrials. So this is, some big news. And then the other thing today with the media is we saw that, I've been talking about this for months and months and months. I've been telling people, get your friends' phone numbers, get their home addresses, get their email addresses, because we're going to have a blackout. Okay. We're going to have a nationwide blackout, and it's going to occur most likely the 21st to the 24th of December. But today we already got a little bit of a wake up call with that. We had blackouts with YouTube and Google. Okay. And then I just heard not too long ago that there was a blackout just this evening in South America. So there's going to be a lot of this energy right now. We have solar flares. You know, yesterday we had a meteor shower. There's a lot of activity going on. And, you know, I've been trying to prep people for this for a long time because they are trying to obviously ban a lot of content, etc. And, you know, if you're familiar with YouTube or Instagram, you got the email saying that they are going to change how they do Instagram and YouTube December 20th, the day before the big conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. Okay. And, you know, Saturn represents restrictions to things. And in Capricorn, it is our public persona. It's the view that the public has of us. It's our mark in the world. And, you know, this does represent governments too, being in Capricorn. So, you know, I'm going to do an entirely different video that is going to be, you know, quite a bit longer and more in depth when it comes to the conjunction that we have coming up here on the 21st. But I'm telling you guys, and I've been saying this for months, get prepared because we are going to be facing some sort of blackout. And, you know, whether it's all forms of media or whether it's all forms of electronics completely, you know, get your solar stuff ready. You know, they've got stuff at like Big Five for cheap. Get candles, you know, anything and everything that you need to do. There is no harm right now in being safe and being prepared, because if you over prepped, then you over prepped. You know what I mean? That's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, worst case scenario is that the stuff does happen and we're not prepared at all. So, you know, we do need to take these things into consideration because the energy that we have coming, we've never seen this before in history. This is going to mark an entirely new chapter. And I want to get more into that on the next video here, but just be prepared. Okay. So we are having a little bit of a foreshadowing of that today with Google and YouTube going out. And, you know, like I said, all the extraterrestrial talk on the news today. So stuff's getting a little bit weird. Okay. And that lines up exactly with this eclipse squaring Neptune. Okay. So like I said, Neptune represents delusion in things, and it does rule media. And we can very well be disillusioned by our media. So that's something that we really want to be careful with. But, you know, overall, this new moon eclipse is really, really opening a new chapter for us where we might have thought that we didn't have a chance anymore, where we might have lost a little bit of hope. And, you know, a big thing with this is, you know, the South Node is in Sagittarius. It has been since May, and it will be for about another year. And like I said, Sagittarius rules schooling, it rules traveling, it rules teaching. And when the South Node is somewhere, it represents endings to these things. So if you haven't noticed, it's no coincidence, okay? There's no such thing as coincidence. Get that together now, because there's not such thing as a coincidence. But everything this year, we've not had schooling. We have not had correct forms of travel. And it's only going to get stricter within this next year, more strict. And, you know, the North Node on the adverse is in Gemini, okay? Gemini is all about researching. Gemini is literally the fact gatherer. It wants to know everything. It takes in all the messages. It's the messenger of the gods. And like they say, don't shoot the messenger. It's just there to deliver the message. So, you know, what we really need to be doing, we do have Mars making a nice trine over to the South Node and the North Node. So this is really helping encourage us and give us the strength to be able to use our own discernment in gathering facts and really trying to understand what's going on right now. Because, you know, we're kind of walking into all this energy, you know, most of us very blindly. And, you know, if you have no information about what's to come, and all of a sudden you're sitting at home and your power's out and you go outside and the sky's green, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? So it's better to be prepared. Worst case scenario, like I said, you prepared extra, and there's no harm in that, you know, but it's better safe than sorry. So, you know, everything this year has been going just as the astrology has shown it to be going. And, you know, this eclipse is really, really, really signaling a divine intervention, to giving us a chance to really make a mark and possibly take a separate path, you know, look into new things, you know. it's, you know, we really don't have too much more time. We have this next week here before the 21st, and that's when the big conjunction is going to come. So, you know, this is really a gift from God, really trying to help get us steered in the right direction so that we are not falling flat on our face and not, you know, not understanding what to do. But there is need for a sacrifice right now. And that's because this eclipse is happening on the South Node, which represents things that need to be ending. And it's making a square to Neptune. And, you know, this can bring about addictions in us today. We can just be wanting to escape reality. You know, there might be quite a few toxic traits that we have that we, you know, tend to brush under the rug, but this is really a time to recognize those things and understand that these aren't things that we can move forward with anymore. We're waking up into a whole new day and age of the age of Aquarius, and we can't have old baggage with us anymore. So, you know, we are being gifted with this opportunity to make good choices and moving forward. And like I said, the little Mario Kart man is putting you back on track. So it's up to you right now whether you are going to make the right decisions and, you know, possibly stop doing things that aren't so good for you, so things that are dampering you a little bit. Alrighty, so I just want to do a quick card pull here. Just see what the energy is saying for us all right now for this new moon eclipse in Sagittarius. What message we can give the collective moving forward through this energy. All right. It says talk and listen. Oh, you can see it. Cool. It says text communication is a detriment to real connection. Do not forget the importance of picking up the phone and having a conversation. Connect with someone today. Take time to listen. This helps us connect and avoid misunderstandings as well as feel heard and connected. So, like I just said, we should be collecting our friends. Well, collecting their information, their phone number, but this is literally telling us not to text, not to be using media as platforms in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, we need to be making connections with people. And that's what this whole new age of Aquarius is going to be bringing for us is, you know, Jupiter moving into Aquarius and Saturn. It's really a time that we are going to want to be expanding on group connection. And, you know, especially with the North Node in Gemini, you know, the North Node in Gemini is all about gathering information, and Aquarius is all about groups of people. And, you know, this is really a good time to try to make connections. I know it's not the easiest right now. You know, everything is kind of online. If you think about it, this is really the only form we have of communication. And there needs to be another way. We need to figure out another way to have our ducks lined up to where if we don't have texting, what are you going to do? You know, if we don't have the internet, what are you going to do? So that is really a big thing to think about moving forward here. I will be back on here to do a much more intricate video of the big conjunction that we have coming up. But for now, take this as divine intervention. Take this as an opportunity to really steer you back on course and put you back in the race. You know, if you might have felt like you were kind of down and out for a while there. And, you know, it's really important to make those connections with people, not just here on the internet. And I know it's really hard, especially with all the stuff going on around us, but, you know, we need to put our heads together and think of a way that we can all unify when things start to get possibly a little crazy here soon. So that's it for now. Just something to think about. If you guys have any ideas of how to stay connected, I mean, I have my website. It is wakeupastrology.com, and I'm trying to set up a platform on there to where we can communicate and stay in touch. I mean, who knows if this is a global blackout of all internet, and I mean, that won't work either. So it's kind of ironic that I got the text card talking, and, you know, so there needs to be a new way of going about connecting with others and not relying on media. That is the big message for today with the square to Neptune. Neptune rules the media. And if you haven't been able to tell right now, the media is all over the place telling us all different sorts of things. So that's not something you want to put all of your faith in right now, okay? So I love you all. I'll be back here soon to talk about this big conjunction we have on the 21st. But for now, you know, gather what you need to, be prepared for the unexpected, and stay safe, everyone. Love you guys.